Hello. So for Amanda and my unit plan, we decided to do a literacy unit for 4th grade. And this classroom situation that we chose to do was to have just a third of the general education classroom be language learners. So there are 24 students, and a little bit over a third of the class have home languages of Spanish and Japanese. And this literacy unit has a lot of small group work, so we decided to split the groups up into 4 students per group, and each of the 5 lessons for this unit last about 40 minutes each. Oops. So a little bit about the overview for this literacy unit. It has a theme kind of focusing on Japanese culture, so students can get kind of an appreciation for that and get a window into that. And our unit is on reading comprehension, so we are really focusing on these skills right here: making inferences, predictions, determining theme, word choice, and summarizing. And the big project for this unit is for students to create a poster in their small groups of 4. And this poster basically summarizes everything that was covered in the unit. And yes, kind of going into the rationale. We use the Common Core standards as well as the English language proficiency standards. And we designed our literacy unit using the 3-block framework, but we're focusing on the reader's workshop part of this for our reading comprehension. And we also incorporated the 4 strands are balanced in this unit, and we used strategies from the SIOP model of instruction, as well as a couple of the TESOL principles.
Hello, I'm Amanda, and I'll be going over the lessons from our unit. So in this unit about reading comprehension strategies, we included 5 lessons. Lessons 1 through 4 each revolve around learning and practicing reading comprehension strategies while reading the book Heart of a Samurai by Margie Prius. Lesson 1 covers making inferences, Lesson 2 covers making predictions, Lesson 3 is about determining theme, and Lesson 4 is about recognizing good word choice. Each of these 4 lessons is set up like an interactive read aloud where the teacher first models, then guides the students, and finally students read and practice the strategy individually. After independent reading, students discuss what they did in pairs, and finally there's a full class discussion. Then in Lesson 5, students put all of their knowledge from the unit together by creating a poster in groups of 4, which summarizes each reading comprehension strategy with an example from the book for each. Students will have been using their readers' notebooks to practice each strategy throughout the unit, so they'll already have examples to choose from by the time they're creating their posters. So the content objective for Lesson 1 is, while reading the beginning of Heart of a Samurai by Margie Prius, students will be able to refer to details and examples in the text when drawing inferences. The language objectives are, students will be able to demonstrate command of the conventions of standard English punctuation when writing by using commas and quotation marks to mark direct speech and quotations from a text while they're recording inferences supported by evidence from the book Heart of a Samurai by Margie Prius. And students will be able to verbally point out and write details and examples from the text when drawing inferences using language like I infer or conclude blank because blank. The content objective from Lesson 2 is, students will be able to refer to details and examples in the text when explaining what the text says explicitly and when making predictions from the text. And the language objectives are, students will be able to demonstrate command of the conventions of standard English punctuation when writing by using commas and quotation marks to mark direct speech and quotations from a text, while they are recording predictions supported by evidence from the book Heart of a Samurai by Margie Prius. And students will be able to verbally point out and write details and examples from the text when making predictions using future tense and language like I predict, guess, or imagine that blank will blank because blank. The content objective for Lesson 3 is while reading the book, students will be able to use supporting details to accurately determine the theme of the chapters in the story, and the language objectives are students will be able to demonstrate command of the conventions of standard English punctuation when writing by using commas and quotation marks to mark direct speech and quotations from the text while they're determining the themes of the chapters and supporting them using textual details while reading the book. And students will be able to verbally point out and write details and examples from the text when determining the theme of chapters using language like, I believe the theme of this chapter is blank because blank. The content objective for Lesson 4 is while reading the book, students will be able to determine the meanings of unknown words and phrases by using context clues, identify descriptive words, and come up with a short list of synonyms for these words in order to improve their range of vocabulary. And the language objective is students will be able to use a thesaurus to clarify the precise meanings of unknown words and find synonyms of descriptive words, and write these words in their readers' notebooks in order to expand their vocabulary. Finally, in Lesson 5, students will be able to create a poster that demonstrates their understanding of the reading comprehension strategies covered throughout the unit in groups of 4. And for language, students will be able to command the conventions of standard English grammar by using correct capitalization and punctuation in their writing. The writing should include clear details and examples from the unit's lessons that demonstrate student comprehension and summarization skills.